What made you think of Jenny?
Oh, like Jenny loves food and Jenny loves culture, and also Jenny like does things with her back. She like she goes into them, and I was like. No, like it was a recent experience I had, and I was like, Jenny would fuck this up.
I would.
This
is, I love this. You knew exactly who you were talking to. It is Monday, March 16th, 2026, and this is What Should We Talk About with Jenny Yang. What Should We Talk About is your weekly catch-up time with smart and funny people to find joy in an unjust world. We discuss topics submitted by our guests and you, the listener. Any topic, current, old, big, small, nerdy, petty. From pop culture to the personal and political. Catch shorter preview episodes wherever you pod. But if you want full episodes uncut, and bonus episodes, become a paid subscriber at jennyyang.substack.com. So, if this episode cuts out mid-convo, don't get mad. Get subscribing. Also, hit follow, give us a rating, review on Apple Pods. I'm going to start a whole thing where if you are a paid subscriber or if you review, I'm going to read it. For example, I like this one. Jin wrote, G-I-N, "Thank you for sharing this emotional work you're doing. I am the oldest daughter of Taiwanese immigrant parents. My dad passed away a few years ago, and I'm experiencing my mom in a different way without his presence. Here's to us immigrant daughters surviving and thriving in this society while learning to love our parents the best we can. Parentheses with boundaries." Did I just make your eyes wet?
Yes.
Oh, God.
That's beautiful.
That's so nice, right? I have the best followers and supporters. My first guest is a writer and comedian who has credits writing for Platonic on Apple, and you might have seen him on his viral Instagram series, What the Old Gays Remember. My friend and one of my comedian heroes, Guy Branum.
Thank you for having me. You're one of my comedian heroes,
Oh my
Jenny.
God, stop it, Guy. You're the best.
You're the best.
Guy Branum, what should we talk about?
Okay, we need to talk about the fact that, look, the progressive left is reeling from Robert F. Kennedy and Maha and all of these, health things that were, at the very edges of the podcast verse and now are being shoved to everybody. But I also think that the progressive left has overreacted a little bit with policing, you don't need that much protein. Anytime there are products with protein, everyone who's aware and coastal and believes in gay rights is you don't actually need that much protein. And Jenny, I don't fat activist a lot. I don't just in anyone's presence fat activist. But I am comfortable with, and I will fat activist to say, being prescriptive about anybody else's diet, I think is dangerous territory. And I think one of the things that we forget in this whole, you get enough protein, is that, bigger bodies have bigger lean mass. And, for me, one of the best things for my health was paying attention to getting enough protein for my body every day. And when I was taking care of that, so many other things with food just fell to the wayside, and it was an important part of my process. And I feel like there is this kind of policing that we participate in that we don't think about. We don't realize, we feel like we're doing one of the helpful kinds of policing, and it isn't always.
Right. I feel that. Sometimes I feel like the liberal coast can get into concern trolling. I feel like is the terminology.
Yeah.
Right? Where we're so concerned, so it turns into trolling, though.
Right.
Where it's no, Guy Branum. Don't eat that much protein. But, I have to say, I agree with you.
Yes.
But I also am of the mind that sometimes discourse gets too loud.
Okay.
And then, so maybe we're not saying don't pay attention to your protein. How about fiber?
Okay. What a great issue. What a great issue that's being raised. It's one of the journeys I'm going on in my life is am I getting enough fiber? And yeah.
Clean, regular poops.
Right. And we also, Jenny, are you just setting me up to promote California prunes?
Yes.
Because I am the official, unofficial ambassador of California prunes. And you going out there and buying, I see these fiber gummies. People paying $30 for fiber gummies.
Why?
And I'm why are you buying fiber gummies when God made a fiber gummy for you? Or nature, however you want to view the universe, that's delicious and has a sophisticated French flavor instead of fake cherry.
With all your natural micronutrients.
And prebiotics. It's not just that there's fiber, but there are fermented sugars in there that are going to help get things going.
You need the pre and the pro.
Yeah.
Pre and the pro. We talked about it. Our next guest actually prescribed a really good little prebiotic for me when I was doing my little course of antibiotics recently. So let's move on. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I agree, but fiber. Prunes. My next guest, you might know You might not know my guest from Stage and Screen.
No.
Which is typically my guests here on the podcast. But, she's been everywhere. She's been everywhere behind the scenes. She has actually become one of the people I continuously check in with to conspire about the world because we care about it. And we both come from entertainment background. So she would call herself a recovering Hollywood professional. And we actually met repeatedly running into each other at like Asian Hollywood events. And I'm like, who is this kind of scary, fierce blonde Asian with a fucking cutting bob? And then I was like, yes, eventually we bonded over being upset about certain Asian American community things. And then now we're friends. And, you might want to know she started out at Michael DeLuca Productions, for those who care, worked at Universal for top dog Donna Langley.
Oh, wow.
She knows where the...
Dame Donna Langley.
Correct.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Became a studio exec, had a climate existential crisis. Mm-hmm. Who didn't? During the pandemic, which led to her becoming a producer across film, TV, and theater. She won a Tony for A Strange Loop on Broadway.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you. And then after the strike, she pivoted into working in the actors and writers strike. She pivoted into working in the climate space as a cultural strategist. Now she's figuring out what to do with the rest of her life like the rest of us. Juliet Liu. Woo-hoo. Juliet Liu, what should we talk about?
So I am generally opposed to the hot take industrial complex.
I got you.
But I was thinking about like the most succinct take that I think sums up all of my grievances in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's that the most dangerous person in America is the person that is lying to themselves.
Oh, tell me more.
I think this is applicable to like anyone across a political spectrum. And I think a lot of the inability to take accountability for discourse or for like actual harm is because people are lying to themselves. Like they haven't done the inner work, the shadow work, whatever you want to call it, and they're projecting.
Yeah.
But like you can have quote unquote good politics. Like we can be aligned on politics and still that person can still be lying to himself.
And that it ends up making them a shitty person?
I think it ends up with what you're talking about. Like the, very vocal left that like can't take accountability. Like they go too far.
Right.
They don't know how to message.
Yeah.
But obviously a lot of the people who are lying to themselves are people that I would say I'm not politically aligned with.
Oh my God, do you want to name names? Give me an example.
I mean, I try to punch up.
Sure, let's do it.
So, I mean, the people that I would find myself most angry about are the tech right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, MAGA...
They just all have daddy issues. Isn't that what we've assessed?
I think...
And they're just projecting their daddy issues and,
I don't know if it's
fear
daddy
of being
issues.
a cuckold.
I think they were actually all, they all want to be artists. But instead of being vulnerable enough to pursue art, they went into Silicon Valley.
Wow, gasp. I felt that.
Founders and entrepreneurs
Hitler
are
famously.
actually not that different from artists in terms of the act of creation, but it requires like nothing from you in terms of emotional vulnerability.
Wow.
I mean, that's a generalization.
That is a hot
Don't come
take.
after me, all the founders
That is a
in the
hot
world,
take.
but these guys specifically.
Honestly, famously, Hitler.
Yeah.
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 Right?
But also look at like
Unfulfilled artists.
Ben Shapiro.
Oh.
Like he wants to be an actor or a comedian so bad. Like you can tell, Like he's like on his show giving notes on Wicked.
Ooh.
Have you seen that clip?
No. I try to avoid all Ben Shapiro clips.
I mean, I went to school with one of the Daily Wire pundits. He was a theater actor.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a pipeline here.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Well, there was the period of time when elective politics was the closest thing to musical theater that closeted gay guys could go into. Yes. And that's how we got a generation of Lindsey Grahams.
Yes.
And, like, I think Juliet is making the great point that, like, the result of sexual liberation is now we just have, like, polygamous straight guys in Silicon Valley, like, imagining that, they can be, because they are, like, all half-assedly wanting to be artists, but can't commit to anything.
Yes.
They also, I mean, my biggest pet peeve of the people who are lying to themselves is, like, they co-opt things that artists create and take all the wrong lessons. I mean, Lord of the Rings being my biggest grievance.
And the fact that Palantir is called Palantir.
And Anduril. And Mithril Capital.
Wait, there's a bunch of them that do that?
Yes,
where
and
they borrow from
they take
Lord of the Rings?
they're not naming it after the characters. They're naming it after the substances. Which is insane.
And the bad guys are all crafters of substances. People who become too preoccupied with the machinery and don't pay attention to the human being.
Exactly.
That's right. I think you're onto something.
Yeah. It's not called Frodo Capital. It's Mithril Capital and Anduril.
Because if it was Frodo Capital, the capital would be human capital. It would be loyalty and friendship and courage.
Exactly.
I was going to invite you to be a partner on my One Ring to Rule Them All LLC, but I guess...
I recently did a rewatch of the extended cuts, and always before I had been a little bit reticent about it's a gay love story, because it's why can't it just be about friendship? Tolkien wasn't that sexual, blah, blah, blah. And this time I watched it, and I was just God damn. I want someone who loves me like Sam loves Frodo. And also, they are journeying to destroy a wedding ring.
No, not a queer rewriting of Lord of the Rings.
I mean, it is a beautiful love story.
It is just two pairs of hairy toe knuckles. That's what I see.
Well, honestly, I think it is a view of queer life that I am more attuned to.
Yeah.
Now that we have more trans gay guys.
Yes.
Because they are really serving,
you're right.
little hobbity energy all over the place.
A lot of nesting, a lot of fire building.
A lot of nesting, fire building, a second breakfast,
Yes.
Toe hair pride. Cis gay guys, we're always policing our own hair. For those trans guys, it's a victory.
That's true. Cis gay guys are really into a very clean seal look. A kind of...
I also do think...
smoothness.
I also think Aragorn is culturally a lesbian.
Okay, talk to me more about that.
Okay.
Has his shit together, is the reluctant leader, gorgeous, long brown hair.
Also, way older than you think he is. Still serving twink while, in his 80s.
Listen, I'm leaving our today's queer panel to do the rewriting of Lord of the Rings.
Also, basically did U-Haul with Arwen. But yearning, right?
Yes,
because
yearning.
Very heated rivalry.
And also he let down Eowyn very kindly. That's lesbian behavior.
I'll take it. I actually was just gonna start rewatching the full series again.
It's the extended cuts are, to me, some of my favorite.
It's a comfort watch.
I'll watch 10 hours of that.
Yeah.
That's
It's
great.
a comfort watch.
It's fantastic. It's the difference between a good movie and an epic saga. And when you watch the director's cuts, it's...
That voice you hear, you're familiar with him. On the final mic, heard but not seen, co-founder of the marketing and branding company Let's Brand. My sweetie and co-producer of Life, Corey Higgs, OKLet'sBrand.com. Let's go.
Yay. Way to plug the website there.
Listen, I'm out here. Listen,
pitching business for your boy.
We are a team.
That is.
Okay? The boat in this household, no, the tide raises all boats in this household. I'm trying to get that thing right.
Thanks for raising my boat.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Guy and Juliet, now you get to ask me. Say Jenny Yang, what should we talk about? Ready?
Jenny Yang, what should we talk about?
The best Mediterranean food is Lebanese.
Okay.
I'm declaring it for some reason. I'm sorry, this has been my experience, okay? I know the term Mediterranean represents so many countries, and I've had so many tasty foods from other countries, but a close second of Mediterranean food for me is Armenian food here in LA. But in my experience, whenever I find myself at a generically named Mediterranean restaurant, and I'm like, ooh, this food is especially tasty and fresh, I will always ask, where y'all from? And then they'll always, 95%, be like, we are from Lebanon. And I'm like, what? Why? Every time when it's tasty, it's Lebanese, okay? And so what do they figure out? That's what I wonder. And it doesn't matter where I've had Lebanese food or Mediterranean food that happens to be made by Lebanese chefs. Los Angeles, New York, Washington, D.C., okay? It's a recurring thing. When it's tasty, always Lebanese. Now, give me that manakish, falafel, kebe, creamy labneh, kanafe, kebabs, mezza, hummus, tabbouleh. Let's go. I especially want to shout out all the Lebanese food because the Lebanese people have been hurting so much. It's not just Iran. Half of Lebanon is essentially occupied by Israel right now, with more than 816,000 people displaced because of Israeli evacuation orders and airstrikes. At least 630 Lebanese dead from relentless bombing. Israel bombed a hospital in Lebanon, murdering 12 medics, aided by American military technology, weapons, and funding. Not war. No, not with my tax dollars, and not the world I want to live in. So my heart goes out to my Lebanese friends. I love you, Arich Mikati, and the diaspora around the world. Let's not forget about them in all of the news about the war in Iran, because it's all connected. So to the beautiful Lebanese people and your delicious ass food, I love you. And in LA, I want to shout out A La Beirut in Eagle Rock, Scaffs on York in Highland Park, Marouche in East Hollywood in LA, an LA classic, Levant Bistro and Bake Shop in Silver Lake, incredible gluten-free food. Tell me where else I should get Lebanese food here in LA.
Sunan in Westwood.
Sunan, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Back when I used to be on the West Side as a UCLA student, Sunan, of course.
They like their kusa, their stuffed squash, is just amazing. I taught myself to make it, and truly one of the best things I've ever made was I made a vegetarian version of bamia. It's normally a lamb and okra stew, but I made it vegetarian, but I just tried to make the most umami vegetarian broth that I could. And then it was Passover, so I left it in the oven for on low for 4 hours while we were doing all the rituals.
Yeah.
And it got so, people were like, did you make okra jam? And it kind of ended up that way, and it was amazing.
Wait, yum. Like an elixir? When you
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, when you over reduce, that's really the key to flavor.
Yes. But it's the great tragedy that Beirut was apparently the most beautiful city on the Mediterranean through the 70s, and then American imperialism has blown it up for the last 50 years.
It's heartbreaking, and when you have a really good friend who is also Lebanese, you get to hear it firsthand how it's affecting them and their family and their fucking mental health. So I love you, Reach. On today's agenda, let's do it. On today's agenda, number 1, Jenny's updates. Number 2, the Oscars, our winners and losers, not just the winners and losers. Number 3, celebrity gossip, love it or hate it. You're a perfect person to talk to about this. Okay. Number 4, Guy thinks Jenny would love Quebec sugar shacks, i.e. Temps de Sucres. I've never heard of it, so I'm excited. Number 5, Chinamaxxing and geopolitics in the post-liberal world order. Guess who suggested that? My guy. My cerebral friend, Juliet. Number 6, Drag Race. Who could be the successor to RuPaul?
Great question.
Yes. Number 7, the co-optation and dilution of community and what community actually takes. Parentheses, vulnerability. Listen, I'm
really
board.
seeing the difference in our agenda items.
I appreciate the juxtaposition.
Yes. Number 8, Hopecore TV and movies, Project Hail Mary, and The Pitt. And number 9, action items, places for you to make note of some things that you might want to try or do from today's chat. And that's it. So, as always, my only paids on Substack get the entire episode for Real Talk, because you don't want to feel like you're losing your mind, and because we long for a better world filled with fun, love, joy, and cool shit. This is What Should We Talk About with Jenny Yang. JennyYang.substack.com. All right. Jenny Yang's updates. Let's go. We're going to breeze right through it. First, the first of my 3 March Happy Hour Saturdays with Jenny shows, work in progress stand-up comedy at a reasonable hour, occurred this past Saturday. I was so nervous because, if you don't know, I kind of am sort of announcing it here. I'm working on my first hour to tape.
Yeah.
I've done, I've headlined before, but to tape is very different, as you know. Right. And I'm actually taking that on this year because the last 5 years was really hard. Yeah. And I had a lot of trash fertility experiences and my dad dying. So finally, I said, this is what I'm going to give birth to this year.
Good.
And I'm going to process my fertility into jokes. That's what's going to happen. So, it was really nice. I did it at the Outside In Theater in Highland Park. I have 2 more Saturdays, this Saturday and next Saturday, 6 p.m. You're done at 7:30. And then you get to hear me fumble across my way through some jokes. But it's fun. And I have really great people opening for me. JennyYang.tv for tickets. And dare I announce, I'm going to do more of these in April and May. But you get to be on the ground floor. Next, I actually performed for Sashir Sameda and Friends for Brave of Us. It was a benefit for really incredible organizations supporting immigrant communities. Ada Escala K-Town, if you know, you know. Afterwards, Colombian, Korean, shout out to OG Chino. I made Jane Fonda laugh really fucking hard.
Awesome.
And I just want to declare that because during the pandemic and these last 5 years, I haven't done as I've done maintenance stand-up, but not like working on stuff stand-up.
Yeah.
You might understand. And so now that I'm committing to working on stuff stand-up, it just felt so good to just be like, oh, Jane Fonda's right in the second row, and I can see her face, and I just want to make her laugh. And I did. And it felt good. You might see clips of it. We had it recorded. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share. And then I got asked to be a part of the Nuestra America convoy that is sending a delegation to bring aid to Cuba because there has been an incredible blockade by the U.S. of everything. So, and just recently they've been dealing with a bunch of electrical blackouts, which is so sad and upsetting. And so far, the Nuestra America convoy, really put together by the People's Forum of NYC, they've been able to raise money to get solar panel generators for the hospitals in Cuba. And I'm really sad I'm not able to make it. But, you know, people like Vic Mensa and Hassan Piker and more are going. And so if you want to donate, they've already mobilized so much money. LetCubaLive.info/donate. That's it. Number 2, there's so much going on.
How were things feeling after the first run of the hour?
Oh, thank you for asking. It was raw. So it was more like, this is what I've realized. Even if I've written jokes for other people as a job, it's not the same when I have to do my own stand-up. And I realized I've accepted I write on stage.
Yes. Ours is a game of iteration. And the thing is those people who are like road comics and are like doing an hour every night, their approach to putting together a new hour for taping is different from being a city comic who is performing 7 minutes or 12 minutes or that, and just sort of I've been on my own journey very similarly, and I felt self-conscious for those first couple of months, but the thing is you find it, you know?
Good. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Because you are similar to me in that you also are working on other writing projects and other things, and it really competes with that energy.
Yeah.
And so that's why I've done this thing where I'm not going to open mics, but I'm like creating my own, essentially, open mic for an hour, which is really nice. So I'm just grateful that my friends and random strangers are willing to come in for this small black box theater experience. Thank you for asking. Yeah. No, I was scared at first, but I said low expectations, high energy.
Yeah.
And I figured it out.
I'm excited to come.
Oh my God. Yes. You want to open?
Sure.
Saturday?
Sure.
Okay, wow.
Yes.
I needed an opener for Saturday. 10 minutes. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'll send you the info. Ooh. Okay. Let's do this, you guys. Oh, finally, I forgot. Final thing. Today is the 5th anniversary of the Atlanta spa shootings. And if I had my social media situation together, I probably would have made a video about it. But I just want to acknowledge that 5 years ago, 8 women who are all mostly massage/spa workers were killed by this young white man who said who's evangelical Christian, who said that he wanted to eliminate temptation. The police there in Atlanta had actually spun this kind of obvious hate crime to those of us who are Asian women, especially. We recognize this kind of hate that is sexualized and racialized. We called it a hate crime, but the police there had called it just a really bad day by that guy. And I remember just how hurtful that was. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that this is still a problem because we might bring this up. Asian women might not be getting enough respect even at the Oscars. So let's move on. Thank you to everyone who has recognized the issues that go on with the Atlanta spa shootings. And I just wanted to remember them. That's all. Okay, number 2, the Oscars. Let's go. Our winners and losers. I've done a lot of talking, but I'm going to do more talking to set the stage for this, okay? Because there's a lot to cover. And so I've done my best to try to summarize my winners and losers in under 2 minutes. And I'm going to time myself.
Okay.
Take your time.
No. I keep a tight ship here. Okay? And then whatever I say, you can disagree with, you can add to, but I'm giving myself 2 minutes. Ready? You see it right here?
Yes.
Oh, God. Here we go. And go. Okay, so winner, Michael B. Jordan, getting Best Actor and shouting out his people and community, truly doing twice the work to get the same recognition. Winner, the Hollywood In-N-Out, for being so close to the ceremony and seeing Michael B. Jordan get a double-double. Winner, cinematographer, Autumn Durald Archipel, Pinay Black Creole as the first woman to win the Oscar for cinematography and asking all of the women in the room to stand up. Winner, K-pop Demon Hunters, Best Song and Animated Feature, but loser, the Oscars director cutting the 2 Korean winners short when they totally deserve more time. And why did we have to do such long comedy bits that didn't work when they probably at rehearsal should have worked it out so that these people could have done just a faster patter and a faster comedy pace with what they were trying to do. Next, we have Loser. Anytime K-pop wins something, I would highly suggest that we need to start having them at least quickly acknowledge the indebtedness their industry owes to Black Americans and Black American culture. Winner. I teared up when they performed Golden, okay, Huntrix, when they showed the theater from behind their backs and the whole theater was lit up with like light sticks like it was a K-pop concert, and just me cracking up at the thought of Leonardo DiCaprio shaking a little light stick at Golden. Hilarious. So that's a winner. Winner, Rob Reiner, a tribute of the In Memoriam with all of the actors from his iconic movies on stage. That made a lot of people tear up. Winner, Misty Copeland twirling front stage during Sinners I Lied to You best song performance, right in front of Timmy disrespecting opera and ballet Chalamet. Winner, Javier Bardem starting his presenter remarks with no war, free Palestine, but loser super Zionist warmonger Priyanka Chopra being weird about it with a neutral ass face. At Discourse Dancer called her Dal Gadot. Hilarious. Side note, new fave Trump nickname is Peed Off Shitler. Loser, one battle after another's depiction of radical leftist activism, and when Black women roundly say this shit was problematic, I tend to listen. Winner, all the Black women in the movie and Benicio del Toro's pure charm and his character storyline around real collective action and care. Losers, 2 jump scares. God.
Keep it going. Keep it
Fine.
going.
Okay. Losers, 2 jump scares. Seeing former Vogue editor Anna Wintour's eyes for the first time and Pedro Pascal's naked face. His face is always a winner, but that was scary. Loser via Juliet's IG stories. Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank got to be in Marty Supreme, so he's on the red carpet. And via B. Gandahar, quote, a millionaire flaunting his NBA cards worth $30 million in a Tiffany & Company case made of white gold, diamonds, and rubies, next to an Iranian filmmaker who faces prison when he returns to Iran after the Oscars. There's a little clip, and it was so ironic. What a tool, Mr. Wonderful. That's it. Oh, winner, Chloe Zhao's grief couture on the red carpet.
I mean,
sad at the Oscars. Same, girl, same. Okay, that is the vibe. Truly representing for the emo girls in a celebratory event. That's it. I went a little long beyond 2 minutes. I'm so sorry.
Amazing.
Good job. Good job.
I worked really hard on this because there's so much to cover. Please, winners and losers. Do you agree? Disagree?
Okay. Just the moment when Javier Bardem finally, like at an award ceremony where they had been told, don't be political, and you had 2 deeply political films in attempt at least, like as the front runners. And when he finally said Free Palestine, that Hollywood's official Hindu nationalist was the alliance between the Hindu nationalists and Israel has been very upsetting for so many of us.
If people don't know, that's a thing. That's why it's hilarious that this South Asian creator used the term Dal Gadot.
Yes.
Hilarious. DAAL.
Also, I wanted to say I had a good joke yesterday on Pedro Pascal about he got rid of the beard, so he figured the mustache should go as well.
Gosh, that is tremendous. That is a winner. Thank you.
How clearly did Meryl Streep say no that they had Anna Wintour there?
Yes, because she already did the Golden Globes, I feel like.
Oh, and did she do it with Anne?
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe that's why. And then Anna Wintour is freed up now that she's retired.
I mean, it was exciting to see her attempt to do light comedy.
Because at first we're like, is she committing to a bit or is she just being herself?
Right.
Because she just kept on looking astray while, like, you know, Anne Hathaway was, like, trying to be like, so, you know... I was confused.
It looked very much like she didn't want to be there, and she was like, I'm just doing someone a favor. But then, like, when she actually threw the punchline in there, so then I was like, oh, okay, that was funny.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just took us a while to get here, but...
Everything Conan did, I thought, was funny.
Yes.
It's just some of the bits with the stars didn't really work because they didn't, like, commit.
I mean, like... The problem of people not showing up to rehearsals for award show is very real. And also the crazy thing of, like, the people who they cut off, the show ran short. Like, the show ran short.
Did it really?
Yes.
I did not know this.
They had to do a buffer video at the end because they had not covered their time. And so it was a little insane to me. I liked that they clipped the show down and there wasn't a dance tribute to Bond films or, you know, whatever bullshit waste time. But it was like... Can't we just let these, like the thing of two people get to talk and then one person gets cut off is always just so heartbreaking, you know?
And it's just terrible when the pattern of the only two times you're cutting people off is when it's K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
The optics are not great.
The fact that they went to a spot on Conan and he was just standing there like,
was not ready.
The hell, what's going on? And then Mike's just going down on this guy while he's trying to talk, and it's just going into the floor. Like,
well, it was also, I couldn't tell, but it felt like that music wasn't coming from the band, and so I was wondering if there had been a fight between the booth and the bands at all. Like, okay, because one thing that's important is I, as an Angelino, take live event production very serious. That we should be good at live event production.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of our things. And like the dance number for Sinners like was not as good as it should have been. Like, there were,
In terms of how it was photographed?
as like the photography and the choreography, there were just a number of things where it was like, LA, this looks like the Tonys, guys.
Wow. I mean, listen.
if you know, you
Shots
know.
fired against New York.
To me, it seemed like 100%. The booth just didn't have their shit together the whole time.
Yes.
And it was like, is this a non-union gig? Is that what's going on? Is that like like what are we doing here? That the number of lighting cues that were off, the number of sound, the sound was
weird.
trash the whole show.
That
Oh
got
yeah, Barbara's. I mean, I
Yes.
thought the In Memoriam was beautiful, and the
Yeah.
Rob Reiner part really like made me tear up.
Yeah.
But when Barbara started singing, I was like, the mix is
yes.
Weird.
yeah off.
I didn't know how to feel about the Parade of the Dead because there was part of me that felt like they did so many bits of it that it led to such weird calculus of who mattered
Yeah.
the more. But
Who
then
got their own?
Little piece.
Yeah.
then there was a way that it was, and it was very specific. It was like Muslim inheritance math. It was very sort of like Muslim. We got algebra from having to figure out the complexity of Muslim inheritance, but
I didn't know that.
like being able to calculate what Rob Reiner was compared to Catherine O'Hara, compared to Diane Ladd, like it was
Diane
just
Keaton, yeah.
it did give everybody very specific quantities.
Listen, this might seem inside baseball to you, but for live performers like comedians, this matters. Production, okay?
Look it up.
Look it up.
I will say one of the things that I enjoyed about this ceremony was that they brought back clips, and
Clips of from the movie.
film clips.
That's right.
I actually felt like the biggest win of all was that they finally remembered who is actually watching these award shows, which is cinephiles.
Yeah.
And they really leaned back into the appreciation of craft.
Okay, I felt that.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, like, in the past couple of years, I feel like we've lost our way. Like, people forgot why people like watching the Oscars. It's like, because you want to actually see the behind the scenes of the films, like, get reminded of what the films were. And also, it's marketing. Like, it's literally publicity to get people to watch the movies that they haven't seen, but maybe a clip or a good awards speech will incentivize them.
And think of the movie favorably.
Yeah.
Take note of that, Timmy
Well, and I
Chalamet.
do-
No, Juliet. I wanted to hear Matthew McConaughey talk for 45 seconds about why F1 was good.
Shout out to the set designer, though. I thought it
Yeah.
looked gorgeous.
I agree.
Overall.
Yeah.
Had a Japanese vibe. It felt like kind of like
Shoji screen.
well, like tatami screens, and then like instead of a bonsai tree, like I don't know what kind of tree it was, but
It looked like it was a plastic oak, I think, or something. I don't know. It definitely looked like it was the upgraded thing you buy on Amazon. Like those were, well, you could have got a real tree in there, you know.
I really loved that they let the 5 women from Bridesmaids do 2 separate bits. Like, it was just, those bits were so good and they went so long, and I was like, these are real winners. Like, this is Maya's husband's night. Like, it was like, it made me so happy. Like, and I wanted so much for Rose Byrne, and at least she got that.
Listen, I love the Bridesmaids. Women in comedy, let's go. But when I think about cutting off K-pop Demon Hunters, I'm like, cut some of this Bridesmaids bit.
Yeah.
That's all.
It was a long bit.
Bridesmaids 2, I think there's still time. If not, Divorcees 1. Let's do it. Do we want to talk about Timmy? Are we over it?
I mean, I'm what is this boy doing? Like, and I like
Someone had a graphic, how to lose an Oscar in 10 days.
it's truly amazing that he had like all of the currents were going in his favor. Like I do like what ended up happening was justice and was exciting, but like oh that little boy like when the ballet and opera line came out, I was in New York staying like a block from the artist's like apartment building that he grew up in, and it was like only here can you feel like Lincoln Center is a cruel tyranny that is like taking too much energy from the artistic world.
I love that one of these ballet places did a special for tickets where the code was Chalamet.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I think like 14 or something. Wasn't there?
I don't know.
I will say
14% off.
Oh yeah. I think the pylon, as just like an observer, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Like people.
Oh, we piled on.
Yeah. Like, well, it also is like, oh, people don't have anywhere to put this energy right now. If like, there's like a lot going on in the world, so it's kind of an easy, place to
target. Yeah, because he's become douchey.
But I will say,
it's frustrate like the dating agenda energy. We don't know what to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and also it feels like we've lost the like kind of artistic side of Timothy that like like where's the call me by your name Timothy?
Little Timmy taking James Ivory up the steps like that was my first thought, was like he's supposed to be the little boy what loves the arts.
Yeah, and it does feel like that sort of hyper capitalist individualistic brainworm of like, oh, this is a competition, as opposed to what's the idiom? A rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah, there you nailed it. It's funny too. He also just pissed off all the straight men, in that apparently he compared himself. He said, "Oh, playing guitar like Stevie Ray Vaughan was easy," and stuff. And I was like,
he said that?
Yeah, I just saw this today. Which is crazy pants.
Once you just get too big for your britches.
Yeah.
The one frame I will say though is I don't like how people keep saying, "Oh, Timothy lost the Oscar." It was never his to lose. It was Michael B. Jordan's.
Michael
to
B.
lose.
Jordan
and he won.
Earned it. Won it.
Well, I would also say Marty Supreme being not the most fun thing to watch also lost it for him. Yeah, it was like so many of these things like the Golden Globes happens at a point in time when most people have not seen something, and like that energy can push someone forward. A lot of people have won for things that no one saw.
Totally.
Blue Sky, The Wife, those were web series.
I need to watch Hamnet, Begonia. That's what I'm missing.
Oh, Begonia was great. Okay. I think the other one is the Skarsgård film.
Sentimental value.
Yeah. Didn't even hear about it, honestly. Like
paid
no attention. I saw it on my bootleg app or something, but I'd never looked at it. And I feel like that's when I got it.
Truly,
there's a lot of Skarsgård.
How many Skarsgårds are there acting? At any point in the world, 24 hours a day, there's a Skarsgård on screen or stage. Holy cow. Okay.
Honestly, they're all doing us good. I don't know.
Let's move on, because I feel like this is related. Number 3, celebrity gossip, love it or hate it. I want to talk about this because this is something that I've fought with internally, because for a long time, when I was in my 20s especially, I felt like I was this like hardcore labor organizer, lefty little lady who didn't have any dreams of Hollywood. And I could only be around like very serious activist people. But there was a part of me that really loved it when I found someone who understood politics, but also like had fun with pop culture. And so I clung to those friends really closely. Nowadays, especially Gen Z, that's a dime a dozen, having that range to like know about politics, but also care about like pop culture. Don't you feel that just in your lifetime?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I feel like you relate to it because you also contain those multitudes.
Well, and also like when I started being gay guys were like deeply apolitical and thought that politics were only for not hot people. And now you are able to just rely on people being a whole lot more aware politically. And it's interesting because, I was raised in a little farm town by a pissy Jewish lady who loved talking shit about people and their outfits. And I grew up worshiping Joan Rivers, and I've had to sort of like evolve and grow some of my understanding of that, particularly as people who now have more of a place in this industry. And, it's like, you're not always punching up, and also
Yeah.
some of them are your friends' friends or whatever. But I do think gossip is like counter-hegemonic. I think that gossip
Okay.
is
Okay.
Oh.
Here we go. Here we
like
go.
I think it is like, you know, just having these people like I think that the coverage of the red carpets is just a little too complimentary now, and rich
Yeah.
people tromp down in their beautiful outfits, and there's no one there to take them down a peg or like provide just like a hint of bitterness to you know, to counter the sweets.
I love the phrase gossip is counter hegemonic.
I think in general,
I want that on like yeah.
Okay, I feel that. So maybe for me, it's not celebrity gossip, good or bad. It's more what kind of gossip.
Yes.
And the angle of the gossip, who the target is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would totally agree. What kind of annoys me is that things, celebrity coverage and conversation has become too positive only
Yes.
and promotional. And I do miss critique.
Yes.
And I feel like this has been a trend with the arts, with food.
Yeah.
You know, the death of the critic, right?
Yeah.
And so where everything's a promotion. I think the crux of my debate within myself is, am I indulging too much in something that's not good for our society?
Okay.
So, for example, my first WGA writing job was for Busy Tonight on E, where every day I had to write jokes, and we had to do so much celebrity research. And so for a really hot minute in 2018, I knew way too much about the Biebers. Do you know what I'm saying? That is like forever seared into my fucking core memories, you know? And I hate it. But also I like indulged in it because it gave me an excuse to be like I discovered like blind items that
Yeah.
I didn't know about blind items. Do you know about the blind items? I think the world needs to know about it. Blind items are these message boards that really started with crazydaysandnights.net, which was a blog spot. Shout out to blogs. And what they would do to get away from these sort of like legal things is they would write things that they hear in code, like a puzzle. Like you're a troll trying to cross a bridge, and they give you a little puzzle to like figure out. And then in the comments, people would give their guesses, and that's the way that you would kind of figure out, unfortunately, who's gay, who's terrible to wait staff, you know, who's getting, you know, frisky and cheating on someone else. Like you're hearing all of this stuff secondhand.
Like Domois.
Yes, Demois sits on the shoulders, the tall, catty shoulders of blind items.
A thing we do not acknowledge is the sheer number of our gay actors, particularly gay male actors, who never came out but were outed by Perez Hilton.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like not okay, but
It's
also like Neil Patrick Harris had to come out somehow, and like that's where it happened is like insane, and it was non-consensual, and I don't apologize for that, but also to deny that it moved the conversation forward would, you know, this is Juliet's point about being able to like accept gray areas and complexity.
Okay, fair enough.
And
yeah.
it's hard because so much of this stuff is invasive. Like, I just spent the week with my friend Lindy West, who just published a book.
Yes.
And like everybody is having an opinion about her relationship right now.
Yeah.
And this is really hard for my friends, but also like she wrote a book about it, and I understand why people are doing it, you know?
If you don't know Lindy West, I mean, true millennial icon.
Yeah.
Okay, Jezebel days. Remember those days? I feel like a defining voice in the personal essay.
Yes.
Personality complex, you know, of back in the day when like writing essays actually made you a living. Lindy West, I've worked with her too, and she's so funny, such a great feminist voice, and she wrote this very honest memoir about her marriage and how her husband wanted to be open and she didn't, essentially.
Yeah.
And all of the messiness of that. And so, listen, more power to her, because that is dangerous territory. That's really personal and vulnerable.
Like, it's hard. We want books to be vulnerable and complex, and then
Yeah.
when somebody is vulnerable and complex, I mean, the trouble with gossip is so frequently it is, back to Juliet's point, a take. You know, like, it is a take, not an argument. It is a take, not an observation, and
Right.
like, and it's so fun.
It's fun. That's the problem. Because truly, I'll just tell you this. One of the things, it's like, because we have these celebrities that we look up to, that other people look up to, that represent, like, you know, our cultural, like, ideal of masculinity or femininity. And there is a deliciousness to hearing the real human side of them.
Yes.
I think that's part of it. You know, that's the fun of it, you know? Like a big A-list celebrity, for example, we saw in the blind items back when I was on it in 2018, was like, oh, he's gay and he has this like, you know, secret house with his lover, whatever. And I'm like, interesting. And then I happened to go to the TED conference that year, and I happened to be at an intimate dinner where it was that celebrity's right hand from the production company. We got real chatty, boozy, we're making friends, and I got to, later on in the conversation, not the first thing I said to her, I said, hey, so I heard. And then I go, is that true? And she just goes, which in face language is yes.
But like we built our gossip infrastructure at a point in time that you just got photos from the studios. And now that we live in a world where you're making cupcakes with Jennifer Garner in her home in a regular basis.
In your handheld device while you're shitting.
Yes. How does that change our understanding or approach to gossip?
Yeah.
I also feel like I think part of the appeal of the Timmy pile-on was because he's not on social media. And so there is something about celebrity gossip that to me feels like, I think so many of us are too available, like online, and there is some mystique still that you know surrounds some of these movie stars who are not on social media. And I don't know. I don't have a really like a place to take this, more just an observation that I actually think that what gossip to me indicates is that people wish there was more mystery in the world.
Okay.
Well, it has been interesting watching, like, as Connor Story and Hudson Williams just like shut down social media, and then it became a world of Kremlinology about what's going on and
Did you say Kremlinology?
Yes, like during